What's going on, world? It's the KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. Got the House of Black of the NRW in full effect today. Your boy Kuya, and of course, I got Webster Style, the man, the myth, the fragrance, and of course, that brother with Nerdvana, with that nerdlesque and that silky voice that you that we need more of. He's a voice actor extreme. He's working it out too. My man,
that intro.
What's good, brother? What's good?
That intro.
Trying to figure out all that stuff. We're gonna get a little bit more professional next time. How y'all been, man? It's been a minute since all three of us been in here together.
That's good.
Good.
It's been crazy.
Some
October is wild,
man. Some wrestling's
been
man.
Happening. That shit don't stop.
Yeah. I've been catching up on the NXT a little bit. I haven't seen night 2 though. Webster Style, I'll tell you that. But we got a new champ with Lyra Valkyrie. Oh, we actually did talk about that last time. I just finally watched it. So anyway, we already talked about that, but night 2 I haven't seen yet. But I let's start there. I don't mind being spoiled. Did anything happen? Did Wesley? I think I heard through the dirt sheets Wesley came back, but did Carmelo get his belt back from Ilya?
Nope. He lost. And then they look like they may be setting up a face-off between him and Trick. So.
Oh yeah. They've been trying to do that. I saw after watching that night 1 stuff. Like, you didn't support your boy. Like, what's going on with it?
Which is logical. I like the way they're doing that.
Okay. So yeah, good stuff in NXT though. I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Over there.
I have a question for y'all.
Yes, sir.
I saw some discourse on the Twitchers. I don't watch NXT that much. I catch the highlights. Obviously, Becky dropped the belt. And I don't know if y'all talked about this or not. But some people are a little upset that your girl Tiffy had these amazing matches with Becky and didn't get the belt back. Like through tables and shit like that. Like I said, I saw highlights and it was a grueling match.
That was a great match, man.
And then come this match with what's her name? Lyra Valkyria?
Yeah. Yep.
Valkyrie or whatever. It wasn't that intense.
Yeah.
It was good wrestling. It was standard wrestling. And then it was like a reversal of the manhandle slam that got her the win. And people were in their feelings that Tiffy did all this shit, putting her through putting Becky through tables and shit like that, and just like going back and forth like slobber knocker type shit. And that didn't pin Becky, but then just a reversal of a finisher gets the pin. So what did y'all take? Like, I don't know much about Valkyrie. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how the buildup has been. I don't know if they're like really focused on pushing her. I don't know if this was kind of like foretold. Like, I'm just thinking like how in the back, like what was their push to have this be the person to beat Becky, instead of Tiffy?
I got you. I'll go first if you don't mind. Just get it out the way. Web style. I agree. Although I think Lyra Valkyrie is deserving. At some point, I do think they rushed it, and it didn't, in so many ways, make sense with Tiffy's build and as strong as she is, and gave a better match. As they're saying, I think both of them are due. I think it just seems kind of like there was some behind the scenes stuff, like they wanted to do something already now with Lyra, and here we got Becky, and they're kind of like same area because that's how they kind of played off storyline wise. Irish girls, let the exchange happen there. But I think they're all very valid in what they're saying, because Tiffy is phenomenal. She's been giving great performances. To me, a better matchup, and it just seemed kind of out of left field, to be honest. Like, all of a sudden now they're going to do this just because Becky has the belt. Oh, we got 2 Irish lasses. Lyra's deserving, and they kind of just did it very quickly. It is disappointing. But Lyra is but not to take any credit away from Lyra though. I just think it was like a corporate decision with Becky having the title. That's kind of like the kind of makeshift thing I think they did, but I can't argue with the Tiffy supporters, because I am a Tiffy supporter as well. gave better matches. It's in her time now too. Yeah, just was kind of weird, out of place. And thinking about it because of Becky, I think that's just the excuse there. We had Becky. We want to kind of do an ode to the two Irish girls, and that's what they did.
Right.
Webster, what you got?
I tend to agree with pretty much everything. I thought that was odd, personally. I think that I wouldn't say it was a better story, but there was a story there. I think that if it was maybe anybody else in the locker room outside of Tiffany, well, not including Tiffany, I don't think there would have been a story that had made sense. I think from a story perspective, this makes sense. But yeah, like the match was good, but it wasn't the same as when Becky was versus Tiffany. That's for sure. Tiffany's a bona fide star, and we've said that many times here. However, I will say this: NXT is overflowing riches when it comes to female talent at the moment.
Hell yeah.
And it is. I mean, I'm just thinking of people who aren't near the belt, and they don't like. We saw that performance Roxanne had against JC Jane this past week. She's even with B Priestley and I forget who Priestley fought against. Like all these women just are championship caliber. So I wouldn't want to make a decision of who would have put the belt on after Becky, because that's a tough decision. I think that if you really look at it, if it wasn't Tiffany, then Lyra Valkyrie was probably the best person to take the belt off of Becky simply because of the title. But I do think Tiffany's matches are better. I think it should have been really putting over Tiffany with that, second match, or even maybe building a like a series, a trilogy of matches.
Yeah.
Prolong the storyline, but
the only
big bucks. So
the only thing I can see the reasoning why they did it was obviously, last thing about NXT, because obviously I don't watch it a lot, but I like to speculate, obviously. And I do love me some women's wrestling. I think they're going to push Jade super fucking hard and super fucking fast. And I think that they probably didn't want Tiffy to get squashed. And I feel like they're okay with this other girl, with Lyra getting squashed.
You know what? I like your rationale, because I'm sitting there thinking, and this is what I'm thinking, I start pushing Jade. I push her, and she goes through, say, again, all those I mentioned before, B Priestley, Roxana Perez, probably the chick who Juicy Jane, like all those that are established in NXT. I don't think it would diminish any of them, personally speaking, as far as like their credibility in wrestling. It would make them look weak. And then you have her eventually dethrone Lyra Valkyrie. I think that works. You have in that time, Lyra's had a couple of title defenses where she's looked strong, and then you have her drop the belt to Jade. And then I would say this, kind of fantasy booking, I say you have Jade do an Asuka. Fake injury, drop the belt so she never loses it.
Yeah, but what are you referencing? Like drop the belt and what? Like go up the main roster after that, or
that's what happened with Asuka. Asuka had that collarbone injury or whatever. I'm not saying that was fake, but she had the injury. She dropped the belt, and then she went to the main roster.
Yeah, she go main roster and then lose to Charlotte Flair, and that'd be great, because
I'm still that's years ago, and I'm still salty about that.
That was so dumbest thing ever. Whatever, but okay, yeah, I like that. Like I'm just curious what they're gonna do with Jade, because like I would love it for that to happen, and then leave Tiffy out of it, and then have like a big feud between Tiffy and Jade.
I didn't even think about the Jade part, because she was sitting there watching the whole thing. But now with you bringing that in, Sean, that does make sense. Even though, like we both, Webster and I agree, Tiffy deserved it, but why not have it happen to Lyra? Maybe a little, even though she's great, but it makes, instead of depowering Tiff a little bit, just thinking plot, future plans. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, whoever loses,
we got Crown Jewel, y'all, and I know we wanted AEW talk before we get to Crown Jewel. Before we get there, did y'all see? I caught this like maybe an hour or two ago. There's like a new AEW. Well, it's new to me. Maybe it's been going on for a while, but there's a new AEW women's wrestling promo, and they're using.
I shared it in my stories. That was amazing.
Oh wait, what was it?
There's a new AEW women's wrestling promo using a Doja Cat video track, Paint the Town Red or something like that. And it's interserping the AEW women's wrestlers throughout it. And like they recorded it to sync it with the video. It looks really good. I enjoyed it. So you saw it, Webster Style?
Yeah, I was like, in my head, I was thinking it's about time.
Right?
That's what they needed. They should have been doing
Promo stuff.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
it's
I'll have to really
cute.
check that out.
Soraya's in there. Tony Storman's in there. Willow's in there. Ruby Soho's in there. Sheeta's in there.
Willow's going on the night against Hikaru Shida.
Yep.
So it's a really cool vibes. I like that they're showing my women's wrestlers some love over there. You know,
good.
But
I'm hoping a shift comes. You know, especially because they're announcing more pay-per-views. You know, they got a new one at the end of the year coming up, a Bash in Berlin or some shit like that.
And that's WWE.
Yeah, they're
doing the Berlin joint.
That's it. I fucked that up. Whatever.
No worries. But
the AEW does have one coming up at the end of the year.
Yeah. No worries.
Outside of Full Gear. So Full Gear is coming up November. So when's Crown Jewel? That's this weekend, right?
This Saturday. We're going to be giving our predictions, man.
Okay. All right.
We're catching back up, Sean. We're getting you back in the fold, bro. Woo! So, Webster Style, what did we want to talk about AEW, man? I'm still trying to catch up there.
Yeah, I've just caught bits and pieces. I know one thing you and I talked about, we talked about the implications of the match between MJF and Kenny Omega for all purposes.
Oh, I did catch that. That was a great match, bro.
Really
that was an amazing match.
I was very pleasantly surprised, and I love the respect at the end.
Yeah,
MJF, man. We talk, he's confident as fuck. He's cocky as fuck. I'm starting to really like this guy, man.
Yeah. Dude, and like Mark Henry came out and even said like he is like a locker room leader.
Yeah.
Like he is not his character. He is definitely like the person who's backstage like trying to help people and everything like that, and like staying late, helping set up rings and shit like that, like just like being like an actual true leader. And he was just like, he's 24, 25, and he was like, he's leaps and bounds ahead of anyone else his age, and like his presence and like his experience and just like his conviction to the sport, and to that industry. So it's all nice to hear, because like before this whole arc, you're like, man, what a bitch. Like, you hated this motherfucker. And then all of a sudden, like, he gets his baby face turn. You start hearing the actual stories because people aren't trying to make him out to be just a bad guy anymore. People are trying to get you to like him now, even though he's our scumbag. But yeah,
our scumbag. Get it right. That's what you're right.
Scumbag.
Our scumbag. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Did anyone peep that they're now doing the Miz babyface turn on Raw?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's in response to MJF, in my opinion.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm liking it though. I actually thought that was cool too.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have as big of an effect as I think it's going to have, because Miz always does this, and he's better at being a heel. Like, I don't think he can get over as much as he does as a babyface as he does a heel. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, back to AEW. What else you want to talk about? I'm fully caught up on AEW. That is my shit.
Just some highlights, some things. Flair showed up.
Flair did show up for the Sting announcement, retirement. I mean, I feel some kind of way. I used to watch Sting when I was younger. I also feel some kind of way about Ric Flair showing up. It's a little weird, but also I think if you're going to do kind of like a retirement run for Sting, Flair kind of has to be there.
Yeah, I agree.
And for that, I'll give it a pass. But if he's there past Sting's retirement, I'm going to be a little, I'm going to feel a little way. You know what I mean?
Well, didn't Andrade say something about his dream was to have his father-in-law be his manager or something like that at one point in time?
Yeah, and then that's when the fucking Dark Side of the Ring shit happened with the fucking the flight where he like fucking sexually harassed the flight attendant and shit like that. And I think they were going to do that, and then right when the episode aired, Tony was like, nope, back in the line. But now they pulled it out for Sting, and it's been like 2 years since that shit aired. So I guess they was, assuming that things kind of blew over at that time. You know what I mean? And sometimes they do, but I definitely do think some people are a little upset still, but I mean, you got it. Like it's Sting, and like Sting, I think at one point in the ring, because I think he said something about Hulk Hogan. He was like, "Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan." Everyone went boo, and he was like, say what you want. Like, the guy's been in the industry, and he was a big part of me coming up.
Right.
And like I understand that. Like, those people in the industry have a different level of respect for each other, no matter how much of a piece of shit they are. And it kind of sucks, but
I get it. I don't knock them for acknowledging those who look, regardless if somebody's a piece of shit or not. People that put in the work, people that made it so you can make multi-million-dollar contracts. I understand you giving respect and homage to them. Because they put in the work, they made a way for you to be here. It just happened to be a piece of shit. But you don't let go of that either. You don't not acknowledge that.
No. Like, it's cool to see Ric Flair and Sting in the ring again. You're like, Ric Flair's still a piece of shit, but it is cool to see them in the ring again, like after fucking 3 decades.
Right.
They've been working together for 3 decades.
Right.
That's crazy. But anyway, other things I want to touch on. Let's see. So, Orange Cassidy's fighting Claudio. Daniel Bryanson is injured yet again.
Yo, and what I saw was like orbital, it was a serious injury
bone.
too.
Yeah.
Like what happened?
Orbital bone.
What happened?
Orbital bone. They think so. They're playing it into a storyline where Claudio is now fighting. Claudio's fighting Orange Cassidy, and he's just like, "Oh, someone broke, Bryan Danielson's orbital bone. I don't know if it was the Rainmaker or if it was the Orange Punch, and I don't really care. But I'm gonna fuck you up, Orange Cassidy, essentially."
Did it happen during the match, or they just and then they?
It was during their tag match. Yeah, it was during their tag match because you saw like doctors come over to Brian Daniel Bryanson or Brian Danielson. God damn it, I always fuck that name up. And actually, I think like Okada fucking was like fucking with him too. Like, oh, you're injured. Why? Not knowing if he was truly injured, but yeah, he like broke his orbital bone, and I'm assuming it's true, but it's so hard to know.
Yeah,
what's kayfabe and what's not. You know what I mean? But that was a great match too. Like, I mean, there's just been a lot of good matches, man. Because even like Ortiz and Santana had their match. That was great. I'm mad it was on Rampage.
I wanted to see that. I haven't watched that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm mad it was on
Rampage. That's their final match as homies. They're done as homies.
Yeah, that was like their breakup, as they were feuding and shit, and this and other. And then Abaddon versus Hikaru Shida, and their kind of like Halloween type match, which was pretty dope. That was really dope. It was a lot better than the WWE's version with Chelsea Green and Natty. That was bad.
Although their Heart Foundation was really sweet, dude.
The cosplay, the costumes were good, but everything else was But anyway, and like I said, I'm excited for the Willow match today. There's like a whole storyline with Willow and Sky Blue and Julia Hart going on that I really, really like. They keep giving them promos, like even though they're not like having multiple women's matches each night, they're at least doing like multiple promos to try to do different storylines now, to keep things like in the loop. Let's see, I think Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho now, not BFS, but they're tag teaming. They're the Golden Jets now, or some shit like that.
They're frenemies.
The frenemies, but he dubbed them the Golden Jets, and I have no idea what that means. And I'm just like, okay, interesting. But yeah, they're having a match against Cool Hand and fucking Daddy Magic and whatever the fuck their names are. I can't never remember their names. They're hilarious, but
they are.
I can never remember their fucking names. But yeah, and everything going on with man, if you haven't seen like the discourse between MJF and fucking Roddy Strong, when Roddy Strong tried to like befriend Max, and instead of saying Adam, screaming Adam, was like Max, like, dude, like the story's just so good, and it's just so entertaining. It's so stupid, it's entertaining. But yeah, AEW's been doing some good shit lately. I'm happy.
Can we get some love to Toni Storm and what she's doing? I love,
bro. That should be killing me.
I love it.
I like all the vignettes, and like it's a perfect way too to give like another promo to the women's division, having it be like the silent movie that's picture in picture. I was just like, that is so smart.
Right. I love how when she comes on screen, it turns to black and white. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I love this.
Like they are doing theatrics right there, and like I really appreciate that. But yeah,
I think I saw on Twitter she had like oranges or something in her butt, and she handed it to the announcers, and they were all eating it and shit like that. I don't know, just cute. I'm sorry, totally throw away.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
She's having a ball, basically, just doing her thing.
Yeah,
right
she's having a great time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
love it.
She did a thing, I think last or on like Collision, I think it was, and she like fucking like ripped off the apron piece of the ring announcers, because on Collision they sit ringside. And she like ripped it off and she laid on the thing and like kind of did like one of those like French girl lay downs, and you could just stare, like you're just like watching Nigel like stare at her ass. And Tony's trying not to look.
Hilarious.
And I'm like, bro, I love it. Like, and she loves it. Like her and Juice are just entertaining.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Like Juice is just so fucking entertaining, man. Like he is just a billy goat of a man, but like he is fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
like he's
with MJF and 3 other people versus the Bang Bang Club tonight.
Yes. I don't know who it's going to be. I hope it's the Acclaimed, because that whole storyline's great. I fucking love it.
That makes sense. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they've been alluding to it because Max has been cyber stalking him.
Yes.
Forever now. So I'm just like, that's cool. Or it could be the bitch ass fucking what you call it? Shit. What's the one with fucking Roddy Strong? Not the Kingdom. Is that the Kingdom? Yeah, it's the Kingdom, right? Yeah. It could be them, but like they kind of they just suck. So I don't think he's gonna do it. But I'm curious to see who it's gonna be. Also, I just want to know who's in the devil mask, dog. Like,
yeah, I hope it's not Jack Perry.
Oh,
that's when the rumblings I heard. I'm like, I hope it's not him.
My God, if that's how they bring him back, someone was like, "Watch it be CM Punk."
Oh hell no! That would be insane.
Oh my God, that would be the biggest work ever. Exactly. Like, I'm the true devil, bitch. But anyway, yeah, that's my thought. Like I said, AEW's been great. Like I said, they're starting to focus a little bit more on the women promo. Now we just need to break that, that streak of, let's have two women's matches in one of these shows. Let's do it. So I mean, NXT does it. So what the fuck? But yeah, that's how I feel. And then, I guess next week we'll talk about Full Gear, because that's on the horizon, and that's when MJF actually goes against Jay White for the belt, for the Triple B, for the Bang Bang belt.
Is that what Triple B stands for?
No, that's what Jay White called it.
Okay, well then, what is he? Why? Because he always says Triple B. Why does MJF call it the Triple B? I think I've missed that for some.
I have never
reason.
Actually looked into that. I do not.
So I'm not the only one in the dark. Yeah, I've always wondered why he calls it the Triple B.
Are you looking it up?
No, I was looking like when is Full Gear? And that's the 18th.
The 18th. Yeah.
And when is Survivor Series?
I don't know.
All right.
Triple B meaning MJF.
25th.
Big Burberry belt is the Triple B.
The big Burberry belt.
Burberry belt.
Oh, for a scarf.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what he calls
all right.
it.
Thank you.
Never knew that. I had to Google it.
I've been meaning to look that up. And like,
I don't think he's ever explained that. And that's what's great about it. It's just like everyone knows what he's talking about. And then fucking Jay White was like, oh, the Bang Bang belt. Got it.
And that's pretty cool too, as a riff on it. That I dig it.
Dude,
I dig it.
They're good at that. They're very creative. I'll give them that. It's been a good runabout with MJF and Adam Cole being injured, and like just him versus the world right now, because he's got Samoa Joe down his neck, fucking breathing down his back, like offering his help if he gave him a title shot. Fucking had the shit with Kenny, like the 3 days, bitch. Like all that shit was just so good, man. And like a lot of it stems from MJF. And if you would have told me this shit like a year ago, man, I'd be like, nah, man, I'm not going to stand MJF that hard. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right.
And here the fuck I am. Like son of a bitch. But yeah.
All right. What about
any
you?
other thoughts?
Style? Any AEW thoughts? Yeah.
No, I kind of talked about a lot of things I'm looking forward to. I will say this just to kind of cap it off as my end. You know, we have talked a lot about their lack or their dropping stories and things kind of just popping out of the blue. I think at least with this stretch, especially over like the last 2 months, they have really done a good job of telling stories and interweaving different threads into stories. As well, I will also say this, and this was one of my criticisms or concerns before. I'm getting used to it. I am liking now how they are utilizing ROH within AEW. It's like ROH is something totally different, but the belts still matter in AEW. At least that's the way it's coming across to me now. So I'm not as against that as I was before. I'll put it that way.
I feel that. Yeah, it's always kind of weird, but yeah, I think they're still acknowledging it and still giving events and everything like that. I'm with you on that. Yep. All right. So you guys, you ready to talk Crown Jewel over in Riyadh now?
Yep.
All right, let's hit it up. First match. All right, well, you know what? Hey,
we have to.
John, tell us
Blood
why
money.
are you feeling that way? Why are you feeling that way about WWE product?
Blood money. Blood money. I mean, we all know what this is, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is their cash grab. This is whatever the fuck the prince of Saudi wants to see. You know, that's exactly why they brought John Cena back out. That's why it's like Roman's first match in 150 days. You know, like we know what it is. So I mean, I don't think anything substantial is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be cool. I think there's like the first like 5-way women's match, you know, which is going to be like the first time ever in Saudi, which I think they can have a lot of first times in Saudis and it's going to be pretty cool, but you kind of lose, it kind of diminishes after like so many of the first time evers.
I agree.
You know, but yeah, I mean, I'm still caught up with WWE, unfortunately. So we can talk about it.
All right, well, let's start it off. Okay, this is going to be broadcast as part of the pre-show. We got Sami Zayn versus the bobblehead JD McDonough.
Is he part of Judgment Day or not?
Exactly. You might as well make the brother part of Judgment Day. Come on now.
He is.
So, he's like
start us off. Who you got? The bobblehead or Sami Zayn?
I got Sammy, but I mean that's what JD is basically doing. He's been a bobblehead, getting knocked around and whatnot. But this is the way I equate JD McDonough. You know how in vampire lore, the vampire always has a ghoul who does his bidding. That's what JD McDonough is.
The Renwick, or not the Renwick.
Yeah, exactly. He's Renwick. Renfield. Yeah, he's
Renfield.
He's the Renfield of the Judgment Day. That's the way I see him right now. And I don't see him winning to Sami Zayn whatsoever.
All right, Sean, what about you, man?
So follow me on this. I'm going to try not to take a long time on this. This is an interesting match because I think that JD McDonough is similar to Sami Zayn.
Ooh.
Right? And here, follow me. So I think they are making Judgment Day into the new bloodline. They want that crazy storyline going on. And lo and behold, who tried to join the bloodline and desperately help them out because he was friends with one of them? Sami Zayn. And who always got dogged by one of them? Sami Zayn. Jay used to dog Sammy relentlessly, did not trust him, did not want him there. JD's here. He's friends with Finn. Damian Priest is not about it. So to me, this is very like this is a good story to tell. You know, and I don't know if this is on purpose. I don't know if this was calculated. I don't even know if they're thinking about that, or maybe they are, and this is exactly why they're doing it. Now, they have been kind of beating a dead horse with these matches because it's been going on for so long. And I don't know if there's an end in sight. I'm very confused, like between like this weird hodgepodge of, Jay and Cody, and then Sammy and KO, and now KO is on SmackDown facing the Bloodline on his own, and then you also have Drew McIntyre, who doesn't like Jay Uso, but Cody brought him in, and it's starting to get very muddled. And I don't know if it's really, I don't know if it's connecting yet, so we're going to see. Because I felt like we probably felt like this in the beginning when Sammy first was kind of like being an honorary Usi, So I think maybe it just needs a little bit more time. But also, like I said, I just don't want him to beat a dead horse so much that I'm just sick and tired of seeing the same. I don't want to continuously see fucking, Damian versus Cody and fucking, Finn versus, Jay, and then JD McDonough versus Sammy. Like, I need something, you know what I mean? I need something from the story. I need some kind of like pop moment, and I'm not getting that, like I need something. Either it's Damian betraying the group because he's upset, and they're also kind of doing like this weird, like, Rhea's the leader, and then Damian's pushing back against it and being like, yo, like, why are you making matches for me? So it's like, I do like that, because it's, very China vibe, you know what I mean? Like they're doing like the whole China thing, running shit for Rhea, and that's great. I fucking love Rhea. But yeah, this match, it's gonna be a great match. Love it. I say all that to say, I don't know if they thought about that story point. I am excited for it, but I want it to be. I'm hoping that the only reason I'm not excited for it is because I know it's not the ending.
Got you.
I know it's going to keep going. And
so who you got?
I could care. Oh, shit. I see. You know what? I see JD winning. I see some fuck shit happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I see possibly someone helping him out, and then JD is going to help whoever helps him out later in the night.
Okay. I gotta say, Bobblehead, I don't know what performance it was, and I actually want to say he was going against Sammy recently, but there was a match I recently saw with him. Either it was on Raw or SmackDown, and I was impressed with JD's performance. He has some pretty cool movesets. It was a rather great match. I actually was like, okay, this guy's got some skills.
But while balancing that big ass head.
He's a former cruiserweight champion.
So. Oh wow. But he I was like, okay, brother's got a good moveset. So I think I will, because of what you said, Sean, you won me over with your argument and this whole bloodline thing. I think I'll break because I think Webster's out. You had Sammy, you had JD. I think I'll throw it my hand in with JD. You got me on that one, Sean. So we're gonna say JD on the pre-match with Sammy. Let's head over to I'm gonna skip those. I don't know why they listed this like this. So I'm gonna skip over to Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. What do we got there? Sean, I'm gonna start back with you.
Like I said, it's the same matches. So I'm just, I feel like Cody's story is still being told, which has been being told since WrestleMania last year. I mean, they can't
have him lose, though.
They can't have him
lose. Are you saying Damian? If you're saying Damian on this one, I don't think I can go with you on this one. They can't have Cody lose.
No, I have no. I feel like Damian has to lose so that he gets so frustrated, and he's going to go try to cash in that night, and Rhea's going to try to stop him, and then he's going to cash in. It's going to fail, and then he blames Rhea for making him pause or some shit like that, and it's going to cause even more discourse within the Judgment Day family. So I definitely think Damian's losing. I definitely see Cody winning. It's going to be a good match, but like I said, it's just, where is the ending?
All right.
What ends this all? Like, are they building some up to, what is it? What's coming up? Survivor Series?
Yeah.
So are they building some up for that? Possibly. But also I feel like that needs to be like Judgment Day versus Bloodline, but they've also kind of already went over to SmackDown and aligned with Bloodline. So that makes zero fucking sense.
Right.
So I'm just very confused. Now it's going to be like a hodgepodge group of like 4 people who it doesn't make any sense versus one or the other. So I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, Cody's definitely winning.
Webster style, who you got?
I give it to Cody. But I echo everything Sean said.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting with this whole Judgment Day and stuff. All right, let's head over to, speaking of Bloodline, Cena versus Sikoa. Webster style, kick me off on this one.
Solo. Yeah, they have been steadily building him up as a no pun intended. Solo. Cena's job recently has been to basically get over new guys. I don't think it'll be clean. So that'll give, a little bit still to Cena, but that's been Cena's job, is to put people over lately, which as a veteran is what he should be doing. So yeah. I give it a Solo.
Okay. Sean, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Everything that Webstyle just said, like, it's just, I don't know, it's boring. Like, we watched John Cena put over Austin Theory and put over, didn't he just put over LA Knight? Like,
yeah, in a way, with the tag thing.
Yeah, like, he's just putting over everybody at this point, and it's just become like a constant, veterans putting over people and like passing the torch and this and the other, and it's just like, boring. Yeah, how many torches you fucking got, dog? Like, Jesus Christ, like, you know what I mean? You're running out of lighter fluid or some shit, because Jesus, like, I'm getting
it becomes
bored.
So obvious, man.
Yeah.
It's like,
And I don't know what that does. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he beats a legend. Solo gets, more confident or more like, into himself. Maybe I don't know. He actually spoke for the first time, I think, the other week or some shit like that. So there's like hints of change. So I don't, like I said, I see Solo winning it because that's the route I think they want to go, is pushing him hard and then possibly having some discourse the whole time. There's also still talks about Jay apparently being a sleeper agent for the Bloodline over on Raw. I mean, people can speculate all they want, but yeah, like I said, Solo's winning. Like, John Cena's, he's not gonna, unless the motherfucking Prince of Saudi Arabia was like, Triple H, I need John Cena to win. Here's $5 billion.
Yeah. I can see that happening too, though.
Bro, money talks, dog. Money talks
all the time.
They pulled out the Undertaker and Kane versus Triple H and HBK and all,
bro,
just because they wanted it.
Yes,
so
I remember that. Yeah, that was wild.
All right, y'all. Solo across the board. Yeah, Cena. It's no longer the time for Cena now, man. Let's head over to what I think will be the one change this event. Oh snap! I just made my screen too big. The one changeover that I think are change of title. Personally, I think they're gonna do it. I'm talking about Rey Mysterio, current United States champion, versus Logan Paul.
I was looking at it and thinking that's Logan Paul's winning. I totally agree with you. I think that'll be the one title change for the night.
All right. So website I already get.
You think so?
Yes.
Come on now. So Sean, tell me why you don't think he's not going to get the title.
No, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, they're in fucking Saudi Arabia. That makes no sense to have that title change there. In my opinion, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
The whole U.S. title scene makes no sense.
Exactly. They've been building up Logan Paul. You want to have at least somebody get a title.
I don't think they
Paul's a superstar.
Yeah, but like, man, if you put one of your main fucking belts on a YouTuber who's not really there all the time, you already have one belt that barely gets defended. Why would you have a fucking another? You know what I mean? Like, it makes zero fucking sense. And I don't think Triple H is that stupid. Like, I literally do not think he's that stupid. I think what this does, I don't know. like I feel like this has to tie into Dominic somehow, and I don't know if that's like maybe Logan Paul gets disqualified and starts beating the ever loving dog shit out of fucking Rey Mysterio, and then LWO comes out. They get who's with Logan Paul anyway? Does he have any people with him? He has
no.
Austin Theory, right?
No. He's by himself.
Is Austin Theory with somebody? Austin Theory's with somebody.
It's the
right?
A-Town Down Under. It's Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Yeah.
So if Grayson Waller comes out, Austin Theory comes out to help, beats down LWO, and they continue to beating down Ray because they all hate Ray. Austin Theory lost his belt to Ray. Like, I think that's going to trigger something like let's say it triggers something in Dominic, and then Dominic comes out, like just to come out to watch and make sure his dad's okay. Like, I think that starts to sow that deceit. You know what I mean? Like
that storyline ain't happening yet. They're not going to do that yet. They're still going to. So? Nah, they're not doing anything with them and his father yet. They're still going to let that play out. That's a WrestleMania type of event for Pops.
I don't think
him to get
together. Two legends are going to be dying or not dying. I don't think two legends are going to be losing in the same night.
I don't know.
So
I'd put money on this one. I'd put money on
Ray. I think Ray still got it. Like maybe Logan gets disqualified and then he talks more shit. I feel like him winning at Survivor Series makes more sense than Crown Jewel.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go.
I understand, Sean. I think from a wrestling fan and Impact standpoint, I totally agree with what you said as far as him winning a Survivor Series. But there's a reason Logan Paul has been past two Crown Jewels. Clearly somebody wants him there.
Saudi Arabia.
Right. And this is my mentality for him winning. I don't follow him, so I don't know. But to my knowledge, he doesn't have any boxing matches coming up anytime soon because he just won that one where all this whole storyline got kicked off. All he does is podcast with it. He's someone who can be there somewhat frequently, maybe not wrestling, but at least on the mic and bring eyes. And maybe you have that title change at Survivor Series, that rematch, or maybe he's feuding with someone else. Maybe Logan Paul is someone that they can finally pull the trigger. This is what I'm thinking.
Go ahead. Lay it on me.
I'm thinking this. Logan Paul wins against Ray. He cheats, so injures Ray. Santos is, I'm going to defend the honor of LFO. And then you have a program between him and Logan culminating in Survivor Series where Santos finally wins the U.S. belt, which he should have done months ago.
Okay.
It's my fantasy.
Okay. And I'm just saying that like, there's no... WWE loves Logan Paul. They love that guy. Is
Yeah, I know. I know.
But and here's the thing. So but they're not going to give him Universal or World. They will never give him that belt. They're never going to give him the Intercontinental because Gunther has a strangle on that. Plus, there's other more. That's the wrestler's belt. That's the wrestling belt, right? We all know that the Intercontinental title. So any other belt, it's going to be the U.S. If they're going to put a strap on him, it'll be the U.S. belt. Hands down.
Yep.
And they want to give him at least one belt. So that's what I'm saying. And I got a feeling they want to do it through Ray. And why not? Okay. You know what I'm saying? It won't diminish Ray. Ray's a legend.
Right, exactly.
My thing is I understand this, right?
Yeah.
I think this is what pisses me off, right? is because you're now having a fucking legend, dropping a belt and essentially putting over someone who's not a real wrestler.
I feel you, bro.
That could be Ricochet. That could be Ricochet. That could be fucking Apollo Crews, wherever he is. Shit, that could be Cedric Alexander, who had his first singles match on SmackDown.
They don't give a fuck about him no more, which is so fucked. And he had a great match against Dragon Lee, bro.
Amazing. Right. Such a good match. There's so many. They
wasted him, man.
You could let Ray put over to push them outside of Logan Paul.
I agree.
And I know it's going to be a good match. He's very athletic. You know what I mean? And he can wrestle, but it doesn't make him a wrestler, in my opinion. It doesn't. And I will be sports entertained, and I'll watch this fucking match, and it is going to be fucking crazy. But like, honestly, what you said makes sense. I can see them having that in their mind. It just makes me mad.
I don't disagree with you at all. It makes me mad too that it could be somebody else. It really should be anybody else. But where they're going, they can make it work with Logan. I don't like it either. It stinks to me too, Sean.
Yeah.
We feel your pain, Sean, but it's just like glaringly obvious that's what they want to do, dude.
Yeah.
I just feel it, and this feels like the of all the belts on this night, that's the one belt I'm pretty certain that's what they're gonna do.
The U.S. belt changes, not in the
like
US.
I would put money out of any of the titles this night on that belt, bro. Crazy.
Hilarious.
That's blood money on that belt, bro.
Blood money. I mean, what the U.S. is doing.
All right, let's head over to the women's championship, the WWE Women's Championship. Champion Io Sky with Bayley and Dakota versus Bianca Belair. I thought there was more people in this match, but it's just saying those. Is it only against them two? Or I'm thinking the Fatal 5-Way. That's confusing.
You're thinking the Fatal 5-Way with Rhea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Io versus Bianca. Does Bianca reclaim her belt, Sean Mongold?
I want her to,
but not at Riyadh. But it's not going to happen at Riyadh.
I don't think it's going to happen at Riyadh. I mean, obviously, if fucking Bayley and what's her face, Pixie girl, interfere. Oh, of course, they're gonna fuck her over. They're gonna fucking stomp out fucking, Bianca. Well, but you know what? I know it's. I don't know if Charlotte's there, but Charlotte could come out and help, because Charlotte and Bianca were like buddy the other week, which was interesting. But it I could see that happening, or I would love to see Jade come out and protect Bianca, but I know that's not going to happen. I know Jade's being saved, for NXT first. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't see her winning. I see some fuck shit happening. Obviously, it's damage control still at the end of the day. And yeah, I think they're probably going to build Bianca up more, like have the Cody Rhodes special, have another underdog story. Yeah, like I think it's coming. I just don't think it's coming at Crown Jewel.
I agree.
All right. So with you both agreeing, my question is, do you think this hurts Bianca by losing?
No. I don't think she loses. I think she wins by DQ, but just doesn't get the belt.
Okay. All right. Yes.
I see Io keeping the belt, but I agree with Sean in his scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I was just like, hold on, let me think about this, because I don't want it to hurt my girl, right? So,
right. Exactly.
Anyway, okay. I see that. All right, let's head over. Where are we at now? We're going to head over to Seth freaking Rollins, the current champion, versus Drew McIntyre. Here's one where I'm kind of iffy on that too for a possible title change, man. To be honest.
I know what I want.
All right, go ahead. Versatile. Lead us on this one.
I want Drew to win.
Exactly.
But I don't think they're going to take the belt off Seth.
Let me ask you, why do you want Drew to win?
I think partially I want Drew to have a main title with people around.
Okay, so you just want that to happen. And they played that into the storyline.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's like the big
thing. It made our emotions get all like, oh, sorry, Drew.
Yeah. I think, man, I'm sorry. I think this is leading to something bigger. I think this is leading to a Drew heel turn. And I think he needs to lose this again for that to happen. I think he needs to lose this for it to happen, and then just have something bigger for him. Like I'm sorry, like his character's stale. He doesn't change. He made his comments about Seth changing characters, every time he drops a belt or some shit like that. And that's true, but he reinvents himself and he gets over. And that in of itself is a talent that I don't think Drew has. And who knows? I know Heath Slater is now a free agent. Maybe they bring him back and have him, screw over Drew or help Drew.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, so I mean that could be a possibility.
He's still around somewhere.
He is going to end up somewhere, and maybe that will be a cool reveal for Crown Jewel. But I don't think they're making Seth drop this belt. Like I said, I think they're hinting heavily, because the whole like Rhea, talking to Drew and shit like that. Like they're slowly, slightly hinting at him doing a heel turn. And honestly, I think he needs it. I think he just needs to be the true Scottish psychopath, not give a fuck about anybody, and just only go after himself, like be about himself, and just fuck people up.
Right.
Period. Like not to be like not the typical heel to get cheap heat and like make fun of the city or anything like that, but just literally fucking trust no one, fucking sneak people in the back, all that shit. Okay. I would love it.
Okay.
So I think Seth retains, unfortunately. I think the only title change, like y'all said, is probably gonna be Logan Paul.
All right.
Greedy. You want all these title changes.
All right, let's head over from there then to Rhea Ripley, our current champion, versus Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Fatal 5-Way Women's World. Sean, so no turnover from Rhea, right?
No.
But what do you think? What do you think of this match, though? Do you think it's going to be a good match with all those? There's some pretty nice, I love women's wrestling. There's some heavyweights in there, but do you think this will be good?
No, I don't.
No,
and I don't think it's going to be good because of the people in it. I think it's going to not be good because of the way they're going to book this match.
Yeah.
They're going to have fucking Nia fucking squash her. Like, I don't know if you saw her fucking whack ass promo. She literally said the same thing. Like, I'm going to squash you. I'm going to squash you. And I'm going to squash you. And I'm going to squash you. And I was like, bro, is that your whole promo? I'm very confused. Like, who gave you a mic? Like,
it wasn't written well.
I don't know what it is, but they're like so obsessed with Nia Jax. I really don't know what it is.
I like Nia Jax. I just don't like the way she's booked.
I don't even like Nia Jax. I don't like her as a person. I don't think she can wrestle. I don't like. She just has a big body that she knows how to throw, but she also injures people.
Yes,
that way. So it's just, like Rikishi was a big body, but Rikishi could wrestle.
Yes,
and Rikishi knew how to use his gimmick and be entertaining. You know what I mean? Like Nia Jax just to me cannot be entertained. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And I just I know how they're going to book it. She's going to go through. She's going to squash everybody. It's going to be her and Rhea. And, and then everyone's going to have to get back in the ring to take out Nia and throw her out. And then the real match begins once they throw Nia, beat her down and throw her out of the ring. And that's exactly how they always book it.
Yep.
And I'm a fucking fortune teller at this point. Because that's just how they book it when Nia gets involved in people matches.
Yeah.
Or anyone that is just obviously like when Braun Strowman's in a fatal 4-way, everyone teams up against Braun, beats him down, throws him out of the ring so that everyone else can have their match and their flippy floppy shit, like he calls it. And I think it's the same way. And they haven't built any of them up to take the belt from Rhea.
Right. Exactly.
No one is taking it from Rhea in a hot minute. I don't see it. Like, you got Io and Bianca and Charlotte, all of them over on SmackDown. Like, there's no one really else on Raw.
Unless you bring Jaden.
Exactly. Unless you play Drake or bring someone else up. And they're starting to bring, they brought the Creed brothers up, this past week.
Oh, that was so good.
Which was a great match. I had no idea they were going to get over. And
I'd love for
them
to be with Alpha Academy, have a huge conglomerate. That would be so fucking dope.
Yeah. I'm very shocked they fucking got over on Alpha Academy, because Alpha Academy was going strong.
They're still strong. So, I don't think that hurt them at all.
I know, but it was just interesting to me. So, but it was a great match. But so they're starting to call up more people. So we'll see what that is. But Rhea's totally winning this. It's just
I think Rhea's not dropping, and I very much echo what she said. I am I'm fearful of this match not because who's in it, but because of the booking. And for me, it's really 50-50, probably more 75-25. 75 can be booked really bad, and 25 can be booked really good. What I'm hoping out of this is that they at least somewhat plant seeds for a viable contender. Because I love me some Shayna Baszler, and I just feel like they have not done anything good with her since NXT for the most part. I feel like really building her back up could be a good contender for Rhea. I don't think Rhea would lose, but a one-on-one, I think that would be a great-ass match. This 5-way, and especially considering I would bet you they don't have a whole lot of time with this. So it's probably going to go by fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going Rhea, and I'm dubious on the match quality.
All right. Okay, last match. Webster Style, I'm throwing this one at you because I know he's your fave.
All right, so
we already had our predictions about
title
changes.
Roman's going to win.
Roman Reigns, LA Knight. Yeah.
The question is, this is the thing. This match has to be good enough to make LA a superstar or put him over while still losing. Roman's matches haven't been structured that way to put anybody else over. Roman's matches have been to bury people from a storyline perspective. Well, maybe the Jey Uso thing, but again, or Jimmy, whichever one it is. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if this is going to have the intended result they want with LA Knight, because it's not going to end with him winning the belt.
No,
that's a guarantee, unfortunately. Yeah.
So you think this is going to hurt him?
I don't know. It all depends on the way it's done, the way it's booked. Because this is my thing. Okay, if you do have the bloodline interfere, if there is a loss, are you really continuing with this storyline? Like, what are you going to do to LA Knight afterwards without winning the belt? That's the biggest question. What are you going to do? Because really, and we all said this, they should have had him at U.S. title picture, had him with the U.S. title, had him run with that, and then up to something else. But the fact that he's up in his title picture now, he's really done nothing else other than being really, really good on the mic and having some good matches, not great matches, but he's had no titles. He's had no title shots. And now he's with the Universal title, and he's going to lose. What do you do with him to elevate him? Like, anything else is a step down, really.
I have a theory.
Okay, I'm listening.
So obviously they pushed him straight up this far because of how hot he was. Like, he just blew up. Like, the crowd reaction was just ridiculous, right? So I mean, they instead of putting him in, the match with Seth or against Ray, they put him straight into this title picture. And he's also kind of on like Team Cody, kind of a little bit. And I think the way to save him, obviously, is have him go toe to toe with Roman. He's not going to get buried. I mean, he's just as big as Roman, if not bigger. So I think it's, you have a slobber knocker, you have them go back and forth, both standing straws, strike, throw, spear, do your finishers, do this, kick out, everyone's kicking out of the finishers, have a grueling match, and then obviously have the bloodline come in, Jimmy fucking, do a sneak attack on LA Knight, fucking fuck him up, Roman gets the pin, they cheated, it wasn't clean, but like, he sees that there's a weakness in Roman. Like, there's a chink in his armor. Like, I had you. Like, you needed your bloodline. I don't need anybody. It starts another underdog. Like, not even an underdog, because he didn't get beat down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but he starts like another campaign. But like, that's my thing, is they're starting way too many of these like underdog stories to come back up against Roman.
Right.
It's going to get a little weird, right? Because you're already doing that. Like, Sammy wants to take on Roman, Cody wants to take on Roman, KO wants to take on the whole bloodline, fucking, now LA Knight's involved, and then John Cena's still there, like, so it's just it's such a weird dynamic,
right?
like, I don't like if he does do that. Like, do you immediately go for a rematch at Survivor Series? You know, do you give it to someone else? You know, do you make a hodgepodge group of like LA Knight, Cody, Jay, and fucking, you know, I don't know, someone else against the Bloodline? Like, do you do that?
Good question.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things. Like, is it Solo, Roman, and Jimmy versus Jay, Cody, and LA Knight at Survivor Series? Who knows? But we'll see what they do. But yeah, Roman's not. I mean, obviously, like, we know he's not losing this fucking belt.
Right.
All right. Well, there we go. That's the entire card, y'all. I don't know about this one. All I know is instead of seeing what's kind of crazy with this one, I'm not too upset about seeing it because Webster Style on this day will be seeing a lot of holes, something else on this day. Because we'll be at Exotica, New Jersey. Y'all stay tuned for our coverage. Me and my man, Webster Style, heading up to cover Exotica, New Jersey for the first time. Sean, I wish you could join us, man, on that one.
When is this?
This Saturday, if you want to come up with us.
I'll be in Minneapolis, though.
I know you got another con going on this weekend. So let's tell everybody what's going on, man. Sean, lead us off, man. Let's get up out of here.
Bunch of things are happening. We're going to Twin Cities Con in Minneapolis, Minnesota. My first time ever there. It's gonna be cold as dog shit. I'm very upset about it. But we're going there. Actually, fun fact: fucking Lita and Trish are going to be there, so we're gonna go hang out with them. We tried to see if we could get them in on a panel for like wrestling fashion that Maki's doing, but they're not doing any panels. So hopefully we still are able to run into them back in the green room. But
get them numbers. See if we can book them.
Yeah. We got another friend, McCall, over there that we're doing another podcast with, and he does like a lot of the costumes and stuff for New Day, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to, dude. We got to get him up on here too.
Yeah, I'll talk to him this weekend because we're going to be seeing him a lot. We're going to be hanging out with him a bunch, so I'm gonna see if I can, invite him over here and just have share some stories. That would be fun. And maybe even Danhausen. Very nice.
Very nice.
But yeah, Twin Cities Con is going to be dope. It's all this weekend. Other than that, I mean, November is going to be pretty slow for us. But yeah.
All right. So then let's get some booking happening, Sean.
Let's do it.
All right. Do it. Webster, what you got going on, brother? Beyond seeing some things this weekend.
Let's see. So far, time of this recording this week, 168, 169 of the podcast is out. So the audio version of my conversation with B. York is out. Nice. Also, 3 must-have tobacco fragrances sort of fall us out. That's on YouTube. Coming up probably on Friday is a mini review of an Android Play unit I got off of Temu. Just a quick little things. And then Game Bites, Sega Bass Fishing is up both on Webster Style and the NRW right now. So check those out.
There you go. I got a bunch of interviews. I think I just had an upload interview. Actually, no, there'll be an upload interview this weekend with one of the directors. Quantum Leap interviews with the directors, writers on that. There's another interview that I dropped. I'm doing interviews all the time, y'all. I got some reviews up. I have some reviews on Priscilla, which is dropping this week. Check out our weekly entertainment show with all of my picks. WTOP stuff is going to be there. Oh, Blue Eye Samurai. Great new show that's hitting Netflix this weekend. Talk to the creators on that. They're the writers on Logan and Blade Runner 2049 or whatever. Great content coming out of ass. But we're going to be seeing ass and have a lot of content about some ass this weekend because West and I are covering Exotica New Jersey for the first time, as well as coming up in a few months, we'll have Exotica DC as well that we'll both be at. So a lot of nighttime fun times coming y'all's way.
When is the DC one?
I'll let you know because you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, December. I think it's 2nd through the 4th or something like that. Their first weekend in December.
Something like I'll let you know, Sean.
I might be available.
Okay,
might be.
So a lot of content coming our way. But this is wrestling. KayFabeyBaby, Crown Jewel. Let us know if we're on point with our picks. If it's only gonna be the Rey Mysterio, Logan Paul change up there, or if there's gonna be more. Let us know what you're predicting. And we'll be back with another KayFabeyBaby next week. Hopefully we'll have the trios in the building, but if not, we'll still bring it for y'all. And we'll be back whenever we can. All right, y'all. We're out of here in a 1, 2, 3. Peace. Yeah.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
You can hide behind that commissioner stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
All right, just jerk Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning.
I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, no! No, that's it, right?
For you, boy. I'm coming hard.